Ladies and gentlemen, Kocosports.com proudly presents the Boom Boom Room. Of course, I am the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from the RVA, talk about Richmond, Virginia. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Smackdown is in the books. And the question that we ask every time we do a show is, what do you give it? Win, loss, or tie? So down here in the comment sections here on the YouTubes, just tell me what you thought. And also be sure to get your comments and questions in. I'll be reading them as the review progresses throughout tonight. Win, loss, or tie. I'm going to give this show I'm going to give it a strong tie. It was on its way to a win, but WWE, in my opinion, fucked it up at the very end. So that's why they're getting a tie. So I'll explain that as the show goes on. Starting out, this comes out of Ottawa, Canada, of all places. You know, that's a little place a little north of Buffalo, New York, and Minnesota. You know, that strange country called Canada, where they have these, funky sports called hockey and curling. You have Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary for the evening. This starts out with Jerry the King Lawler going to interview the 2015 King of the Ring tournament winner, Wade Barrett, talking about, all hail King Barrett. Barrett obviously comes back with, don't you dare, refer to me as your equal, because I'm pretty sure the trailer parks in Memphis do not involve castles. And, and was telling, basically insulting Jerry Lawler, trying to get some heat on him. This, of course, brings out Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler called him a reject from the Renaissance Fair. Referee Mike Chioda jumped in the ring, and then we rang the bell for the beginning of our first match. Bad News Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler. This started out with a lot of impact. You had Ziggler hit a drop kick. This forced Barrett out of the ring. They come back from commercial break. Ziggler got hit with winds of chains, and then Ziggler quickly turned the tide, hit the Famouser out of nowhere, was going for the pin, but Sheamus came in there with fear, and I was like, oh, dear God, here we go, another fuck finish. But WWE managed to save themselves. I believe Ziggler did win it via disqualification, but I actually think it went to a no contest, because immediately during the double team, the 2-on-1, with Sheamus and Barrett beating up on Ziggler, Neville came out to make the save. This turned into a tag team match with Bad News Barrett and Sheamus taking on Dolph Ziggler and Neville. This had a nice back and forth. Ziggler eventually hits the hot tag onto Neville. Excuse me. Neville goes to the eventually takes it to the outside. Sheamus on the inside. Barrett is just, Neville hits Sheamus on the outside with that flying leap. This left Barrett somewhat distracted. He got hit with the zigzag. Ziggler and Neville get the win. And so, wow, congratulations both of those. I think that was a very good opening match. A great way to start off. I was kind of, upset at first, because I thought, okay, they're going to have this match ending a fun finish, which usually tends to piss me off, especially with WWE, but it got turned into a tag match. Now, if they hadn't done this 800 times before, I think it would have been something just a little bit more special. But all in all, hey, it's SmackDown, a decent way to start off. At least they didn't end the show like this. They ended it on a much worse note, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. Next, we saw Luke Harper take on Fandango. This was not a very long match. Apparently, Fandango not faring well with his face turn. He just took a huge boot to the face, followed up by that clothesline from hell. Gets the pin. After the match, now this is where it got a little interesting. Eric Rowan came down to the ring. He took off his sheep's mask and then started gave Fandango a full Nelson slam, then started giving him the boots and then took off. So for me, this just kind of came out of nowhere. It's a heel turn. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, because face it, Eric Rowan is a face. I mean, he was just directionless. We didn't know why he turned face. We don't know what his motivations were, where he was going. even when he was face, aside from his time on Team Cena at Survivor Series, he did absolutely nothing. So does this mean does it mean that Eric Rowan is just now a heel? Is he teaming back up with Luke Harper? Are they going to now go as a tag team? Are they reforming the Wyatt family? A lot of questions coming out of this. So I'm interested to see where they're headed with this. Like I said, this thing with Eric Rowan came out of nowhere. Luke Harper, of course, needing a big win. You see, next segment, you had Lana standing in the ring, smiling, telling people not to chant her name because it makes Rusev upset. Then Rusev comes out to the ring, then orders Lana to the back, and then cuts a promo on John Cena, saying that, you know, on Monday Night Raw, you showed mercy against your opponent, and that's a sign of weakness. I will show you no mercy, and I will make you say, I quit. I think this was a good short and sweet promo. They're obviously, if you've been reading the dirt sheets like I have, WWE's looking to make Lana one of the face of the Divas division. They're going to reveal that she's actually American, and who knows what they're going to go with it. But I like it. I like Lana. I think people are cheering her more than the fact that she's just hot. Yeah, she's gorgeous, but she's also pretty good at what she does. She's been a great manager. She's now starting to play to the crowd a little bit, get some more sympathy. So I think it's well earned. Definitely worth a look there. And speaking of Sami Zayn, the person that Rusev was referring to, he was originally supposed to be on this show, but after suffering that shoulder injury on Monday Night Raw, which, by the way, was not John Cena's fault. If you read the full report, Sami Zayn was already suffering from shoulder injuries prior to this, and then while he was playing up to the crowd, going to the ring, he wound up hurting his shoulder, and like a trooper, he went out there and finished the match. He even hit some of his signature moves. I think they were supposed to go somewhere with this, but unfortunately, right now the results of his MRI have not been released, so we don't know how serious it is, if it'll require surgery, or if he'll be out, or how long he'll be out, and how this could affect NXT. But we should know come this time next week. They're expected to address it on NXT on Wednesday, so any day now I'm expecting the results to come out, and then how they're going to handle that coming up within the days to follow. Speaking of that, apparently the injury bug is going around NXT, because it's being reported now that Hideo Itami has also suffered a shoulder injury. So bad break there. Who knows how that's going to affect the card at NXT's event on on May the 20th. So who knows how that's going to go, and definitely want to wish both those guys a nice speedy recovery. And Tommy, from the way it's looking like, he could be out anywhere from 4 to 6 months if this injury is bad as they say it is. So definitely want to wish those guys a speedy recovery. But going out here, they had a 6-man tag match. It was the New Day taking on Cesaro and Tyson Kidd along with a mystery partner. That mystery partner came in the form of Ryback. This, in my opinion, wound up being the match of the night. I absolutely love Kidd and Cesaro now as faces. People wanted to cheer them to begin with. The New Day, nobody wanted to cheer for them. They wanted to boo them, so they flipped everybody. New Day is heels are amazing. They're doing a great job with them. I kind of like it's just kind of breathed new life into it. And now you got Cesaro and Tyson Kidd as good guys. People want to cheer them anyway, so just roll with it. I think it was just amazing. Ryback taking charge through most of this. I love when they throw the guys in the corner and start stomping them with New Day sucks, with that a mockery of their clamp and champ. This just went all over the ring, but eventually the only thing I didn't like was the end with a minor distraction on the outside. Ryback was taking it to the New Day, then Bray Wyatt's little, I don't know, logo, where the little vignette or whatever, the thing with the tape flashes, lights go out, comes back on, nobody there. This provides a distraction. Ryback gets rolled up by, Kofi Kingston rolled up Tyson Kidd and got the win. So New Day gets a big win, and I'm interested to see where they're going with the Ryback Bray Wyatt feud. New Day again needing getting another big win. So tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about New Day's heel turn? And props to Jimmy King for sharing this on Google Plus. So thank you very much. I like New Day's heels. I like Kid and Cesaro as faces. I think it's bringing the new. It's got some energy going on in the tag team division. Followed this up with the Divas match. It was Emma versus Naomi. Naomi, apparently with a new heel persona, being joined with Tamina Snuka. I think the reason they did this is, I mean, they had nobody else to go to. You had AJ Lee retired. Paige is out. You had the Bellas turn face, and they needed a heel, and I don't think they were wanting to bring in Alicia Fox, or at least push her up to basically the lead diva heel, so they went with a pretty, in my opinion, somebody pretty reliable with Naomi. I think she needs to change up her moveset a little bit. It was actually a pretty decent match. Pretty vicious moves there. I mean, she could still wrestle, and I've got confidence in her. She hits Emma with the rear view. Picks up the win, and then after the match, Naomi and Tamina Snuka go in and start putting the boots to Emma, definitely getting over the heel aspect of this turn. So way to go with them. Let's see, they promoted Tough Enough. Next, we had a tag team match, Los Pecadores versus the Lucha Dragons. It was actually a pretty good match. Yeah, there was a botch in it. When the Lucha Dragons, there's a spot where Kalisto holds open the ropes and Sin Cara dives through it. Well, he apparently didn't make it all the way through, clipped his leg and went falling flat on his face in front of Fernando. Other than that, I mean, I think it was a pretty clean match. A lot of high flying moves, a lot of back and forth, arm drags. Eventually, you have a small package on Diego. Lucha Dragons get the win. Los Matadors were apparently upset. By the way, I'm not a huge fan of these roll-ups, these roll-up wins. I'm not a fan of that. I really wish they would have hit their finishing maneuver, because you've had, looking on this, that was essentially almost three roll-ups they've had in one show. That's how it ends. I think they need to do a little bit better job booking. One is maybe more than enough. So, but I really want some more clean finish. But after the match, El Torito was consoling Diego. Diego pushed him away. Then Fernando started yelling at Diego. I don't know if they're teasing a heel turn. I don't know exactly what they're doing with this. Who knows what they're going to do? We'll just have to wait and see. And then we go to the contract signing. Yeah, that's how you know your show's great, is when you bring in the contract signing. That's how you're going to wrap up your show. It pretty much ends like you think it would. These contract signings never end in brawls. Really, seriously, when's the last time? I think maybe Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think maybe for their signing they didn't have a brawl, but I think that's the exception, not the rule. Of course, this ends in a brawl, pretty much with all four men. You have Rollins backing away. He's standing tall at the end of the show. RKOs for everybody. They're going to have this four-way at Payback, which I'm smelling a rat. Check out the dirt sheets. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to give anything away like a potential spoiler, but it's a rumor involving Dean Ambrose and his role at Payback. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give everybody another week to kind of read over this and tell me what you think about it. The rumor. I don't want to really say what it is because I don't want to potentially spoil anything. So just go look up your favorite dirt sheets or go to Kocosports.com and check that out. To be honest, I really just kind of skipped through the contract signing because when I kind of realized, okay, all the wrestling's over with, I already knew how this is going to go. This means nothing to me now. A contract signing, and it ends in a brawl. That means even less to me because I've seen it 100 times before. Absolutely boring. And if it hadn't been for that, this show would have gotten a week win. The opening match was great. Granted, I wasn't excited about the finish with Sheamus coming in, but they quickly rectified that by turning it into a tag team match. So I think the opener was pretty good. That was good to check out. Luke Harper versus Fandango. Not much to that one. I think the only thing that made that interesting after the Harper win was Eric Rowan turns heel. I'm interested to see where they're going with that. The New Day versus Cesaro, Kid, and Ryback. I like this tag team feud. I like how they're also selling the Ryback Bray Wyatt feud. In my opinion, this was the match of the night. Definitely worth checking out. Emma versus Naomi. If you're a big Divas fan, I'd check it out. I kind of like the new Naomi heel character. I kind of like seeing her do this. Apparently, she's dependable enough where they went ahead and turned her. I think she needs to work on her moveset just a little bit and definitely needs to change her finisher, in my opinion, because I'm sorry, I don't care how frail of a woman you are. I'm pretty sure you running into another woman's ass would not incapacitate you long enough to have your shoulders pinned for a 3 count. So I think it needs to be a little bit more vicious of a move that's not a fucking DDT, because that move's been overused right now. Then Los Matadores versus Lucha Dragons was a lot better than expected, and that's definitely worth checking out. So, and then the contract signing, as I previously mentioned, it's pretty much what you think it is. It ended the way you think it's going to end. So as far as watching it, if you're a hardcore WWE fan, yeah, check it out. But if you skip it, you're really not going to really miss anything. The only thing that's happening that they're not going to follow up on, that's probably going to have only consequences, is the heel turn by Eric Rowan. That's about it. Maybe, and I do stress maybe, they might follow up on the Los Matadores with this, maybe a possible heel turn with them, but that's pretty much it. So it's either a hit or miss. You can take it or leave it. If you leave it, you're really not going to be missing out. In fact, if you listen to this review, you've pretty much heard everything that you really need to hear on it. So you can make up your minds if you haven't seen it yet. You can always check it out at Kocosports. Lennox Watterson, he says, he gives it a tie. He says, 2 heel turns and a boring main event. Do you think Bryan would have won the King of the Ring if he was healthy? If not, does he put over Neville in the finals? I don't even think that Daniel Bryan was even slated to be in that. And to be honest, I wouldn't have put him in that tournament. I would take people who need to be over, people I'm trying to get over, who needed that little extra boost, because Barrett's getting a nice little boost as being the King of the Ring. I think that's what you need to reserve it for. It's kind of like I guess like a Money in the Bank contract win, essentially. Or at least it's along those lines, Lennox. I think you should use the King of the Ring because you've had a lot of success stories with it. You know, Bret Hart, former King of the Ring. Now, I know it's not always a guarantee because you had Don the Rock Morocco and Billy Gunn win King of the Ring, but their careers really didn't take off after that. But it did work out for people, and I'm not just saying people like Harley Race, but Edge, you know, King of the Ring. Who else was another big King of the Ring? Owen Hart. It's just something to take somebody who is in the mid card, and it kind of elevates them a little bit to kind of give them a little chance at the main event spot at the top of the card. I think that's what it should be used for. Daniel Bryan's over no matter what, but I use this to kind of get somebody who probably wouldn't normally be over, to get them a little bit more attention and maybe to test them out at a different level. That's what it should be used for, because if Daniel Bryan wins it, yeah, okay. But Barrett, I think Barrett winning it's a little bit bigger deal. Even Neville winning it would have still been a big deal. It would have taken this upstart from relative obscurity into like, whoa, he's the new King of the Ring. He's only been on the main roster for what, 2-3 weeks, and wow, he's already King of the Ring. So that's where at least what I see with it. All right, let me check any more comments. In fact, okay, Lennox Watterson again. What sets new finisher? Basically it's a double arm DDT. He says I think he should use the corner power bomb and sometimes the Phoenix Splash or the super kick when they're on their knees. I think the buckle bomb is the setup for it. He throws them into the turnbuckles and hits them with like this DDT. And I think the only thing that separates that from Dirty Deeds is I think Ambrose kicks his foot out, and I think that's, to me, it's too similar. I think the curb stomp is a perfect finishing maneuver, but I think legal advised them not to use that because of the concussion awareness. And I'm like, he steps on in between their shoulder blades, and they're trained professional wrestlers hitting their heads on a flat padded surface. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But hey, when it comes down to it, between when there's a fight basically between PR lawyers and wrestlers, the fucking lawyers are going to win every goddamn time, and that's what happened. I just think it was just, hey, we need to make a change just in case. And unfortunately, I think that's what's happened with Seth Rollins. I think he needs a different finishing maneuver other than a DDT. I think that's a move that's been used way too much right now. It's just kind of, but it's a safe maneuver, so I guess that's why they go to it. But you can't go to the well too many times. All right, taking a look here. I don't think there's any more comments. If I don't get to yours, I apologize, but I think that's going to wrap it up. So be sure to visit us at Kocosports.com. That's KOCOsports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got you covered there on the site. Be sure to check out our news and gossip section, which is updated daily, along with our very popular video on demand section. And the best part about Kocosports.com, it's all absolutely positive and 100% free. It's Kocosports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass. I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, and enjoying. Be sure to like, subscribe to us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Actually, I don't think there's any pay-per-views this weekend, but we are working on a payback pay-per-view profits soon. So, keep your eyes and ears out for that. We're going to do a little pick'em contest. Of course, we'll be back with a Monday Night Raw review, then followed up by, the usual thing. Now, if you've missed our reviews of Lucha Underground and NXT, those reviews have been posted. Dave Kokotis will work on a TNA review probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. We've even done a little special show about the ESPN E60 documentary. Me and Dave just fucking went off on that. So I'm pretty sure you love that show. And then also we kind of commented on Global Force Wrestling's announcements, and all of those are on our YouTube page. So be sure to like and subscribe to us. And I guess that's going to wrap it up. Let me do one last check for comments and see if anything came in while I was battling on. Nope, there was not. So that's going to wrap it up. So I want to thank everybody. And this is Boom Boom for my partner, Dave Dakotas. I am over.